Fam, 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 jam. Fam jam. Fam jam. What's good? So, this message is for those who not only don't look like what you've been through, but you don't even think like what you've been through. So, I've been doing some poetry lately, um, poetic musing, and so I wanted to share what I wrote, and then we're gonna do a reading, card reading, because my tarot deck is calling. When I started writing, this deck popped into my head. So we're gonna we're gonna do some polls after I read this piece. So I call it you don't think like what you've been through. Sorry, it's not gonna be smooth flow like at a poetry thing. I just wrote it. You don't think like what you've been through. Shit, you don't look like what you've been through. But you realize that looks ain't it. We can primp and preen and color and clean, but if you haven't cleaned the closets of your mind, what could you possibly glean from an abundant wealth stream? But you've done the work to figure it out as much as you could of what life's about. And you know that money can only clear the worldly things, not the entrenched scarcity, and not that fear. You've cleared your mind of the voices that say, if it doesn't show up in this certain way, right now and here today, it shall never come around my way. You understand, patience is more than a virtue, and it's the only way to really stay true. Don't rush the morning and don't run from the night. Laugh at the triggers, because not everything is worth a fight. And you understand you are part of a web where thoughts and actions send ripples across galactic threads. So you don't think that what you've been through, so you don't think like what you've been through. Instead, you evolve from it, not allowing past situations to overly inform your current relations. Ships are made to dock and flow, and you've been spending your years carefully planting seeds where your soul knew that they would grow. You've watched some fields be stolen, you've had some dreams be burned, but you've never stopped believing that now is your turn. That waking up in the morning is the green light to go, whether it's sun, rain, shadow, or snow. You've tapped into that God thread that's been with you from the start, nudging you forward and holding your heart. So your aurora is borealis, and your thoughts are galactic sky. Space for every system, even when they collide. You are what you are, and for you, that's enough. Mindset way above subpar, and life built God tough. Fam, oh, by the way, if you enjoy affogato, affogato, however they say it, it's an Italian word. I'm not Italian. Um, uh, which is ice cream and coffee. This is like a berry gelato that I had gotten, and my kiddo, I got it for my kiddo, and he likes it, but it's not his favorite thing. So I ran out of milk, and I actually used oat milk, but I ran out of milk, and but I did not run out of coffee. And I actually just went to the grocery store yesterday, and I didn't feel like getting back in the truck this morning. So clouds in my coffee, clouds in my coffee, yeah. But it's delicious. So, like a nice scoop of ice cream, uh, honey, and coffee. It's delicious. It's a little weird because the gelato had berries on top. So now they're at the bottom of my mug. So they come to the surface every now and then. But yeah. Oh yeah, guys, see the balloon back there? That balloon was for my little one's birthday. I've been a mom for uh 8 years. He's been walking around on his own for 7, breathing his own air. For those of you who don't understand that, you go through gestation for a little under a year. So, first card is the Empress. Ooh, I like that. Also, um, I've been tapping into the energy of Ganesha lately. So when I got ready to do this reading, I was walking to the bathroom, and I came past this bandana that has elephants all over it, and it just felt like a good, significant, foundational base for the reading. Listen, that's too much. That's too much. All right. First card was the Empress. Second card, the King of Pentacles in the reverse. Ew. This card was right side up. The Nine of Cups. So we're going to take that. Take that, take that. And then finally, we have the Four of Wands. And I'm going to clarify all of these, expand on all of these with, we'll double down on tarot. But I wanted to foundation it with my skeleton deck, Bare Bones. And then we're going to go into Black Hat Tarot because I feel like the collective that I would be speaking to, you like to get all the way down to the bare bones. Like, take off your skin, take off your meat suit, take off your clothes, but not in like a smexy way, like release all of that shit and give me your bare bones. I have gotten to my bare bones, I feel. And that's what you need. First I heard expect, but you don't expect that from people. You need that from people. And if they can't give it to you, you accept that they haven't given it to themselves, so they can't give it to you. So let's see. The first card is the Empress, and it's the divine feminine beauty, abundance, nourishment, how to care for nature, nurture yourself and others, abundance, sovereignty over the natural order. I'm going to read that one more time. I'm an acronymed neurodiverse human, so if you see me reading my tarot cards, it's like actually reading them. It's because I felt called to dive right into tarot, and in order for me to do that fully, I went through the book and went through each card and put what they stood for actually on the card, which then connected me more with the cards. But let's see, the divine feminine. This time, first time I read it, I was just reading the words. This time I'm going to read and pause, feel. The divine feminine, beauty, abundance, and nourishment. How to care for the nature and nurture of yourself and others. Abundance and sovereignty over the natural order. So I feel like this is what I was bringing through in the poem abundance and sovereignty, the divine feminine beauty, abundance, and nourishment. So, like, there's a lot of people talking about soft era, soft era, soft era, but you know that soft era is like, it comes from a tenderization, I'm hearing. Like, you gotta surrender to what is like beating at you, understanding that you are in a fortified house. Like, so whatever's beating at your door, whatever's, and not like at your home, well, the home of your soul, whatever's doing that is tenderizing you when you like that. And that's for those that are in more of an ascendant, multidimensional. If you are in contrast, it is more of spiritual warfare than it is of face to face. Because in face to face, the human part of other humans recognizes that you're not about that, like, you're not about to do that with them. So it's more like covert and more coming from a spiritual place, which therefore might mean that it's not even about them in the physical. It's about a past life of your interactions with that person, maybe not in the here and now. Um, but it brings me back to, what was the line I wrote? Don't rush the morning, don't run from the night. Laugh at the triggers, because not everything is worth the fight. You understand you are a part of a web where thoughts and actions send ripples across galactic threads. So, like, this Empress card, I feel, is really speaking to that piece in particular, that piece of this piece in particular. Like, you've cleared your mind of the voices that say, if it doesn't show up in this certain way right now and here today, it'll never come around my way. So, like, you don't think from a place of scarcity of like, oh, if I lost this particular opportunity, there will never be another one. You don't think in that way, because you know that each time you see an opportunity, each time you are able to step into a particular opportunity realm, even if it ends, it doesn't truly end, because if energy is put into a certain direction, it's going to go in that direction unless we navigate away from it. And navigating away from it doesn't necessarily have to do with the cast of characters. It has to do with your your drive, your soul towards moving towards that thing. And that's where we come into the how to care for nature, nurture yourself and others, abundance, sovereignty, and the natural order. Like, you know that as long as you stay the course, because it's about you, you have to stay the course. If your soul is calling you to go left, and someone else's soul is calling you to go right, that's a wrong turn. That's a wrong turn, and it could lead you in a meandering detour, right? um and even when that happens, you just take it in stride, because that's sovereignty. You're choosing not to be uh in a fight with the trigger, right? You're just saying, "Ooh, bullet." Just right, and let it go. So I'm gonna go do this first card. Nope, I'm not. Second card is King of Pentacles in the reverse, which is corruption and access. So I feel like this first card, this Empress card, is saving you. Being in this Empress energy, being in this flow state, being in this caring for state, right? Like caring for in the sense of you care for yourself by being an acknowledgement of what care must look like for others by following your soul, your God thread, which comes through the galactic thread. So like where you're so tapped in so many dimensions. You're so tapped in so many dimensions. I was called to, and before I pull any more cards on these two, because this is such a, I feel like these are two different messages right now. Maybe I don't know if they're for two different groups of people, but the yin and yang also have two sides, right? So this could be the side that's like, I'm hearing this song that it was one of my grandmother's favorite songs. And my mother actually sent it to me in a DM the other day. Uh, I'm a soldier in the army, by and by and by. Like this one is understanding that you enlisted when you chose to come back into a body. Like when you chose to come back into a body as a soul, you were a soldier in the army of God, which means that you've taken the journey of Jesus. Like you might not feel like you fit into your family because you're like a drop in, you're a walk in. Um, you came in with so much, so thick of a thread, so thick of a rope. I'm hearing like not just a thread that could be snapped, but a rope, like a rope. You came in with a rope to God's light. Like you are galactically tapped in. You are ancestrally tapped in. You are tapped into nature. You are tapped into yourself, your own feelings, like understanding that there are some narratives of your past that will not serve you in the now if you continue to converse with them. Um, if you continue to converse with them with other human beings, like how do I explain this? I started to think about it, and I brought my gaze down, and it brought me back to this King of Pentacles, sorry, in the reverse of corruption and access. Like you understand that you're not going to stand in your own way because every action has an equal and or opposite reaction. So like you come to situations, you say, oh, that's an old narrative. How would I stand in that in the now and today? Okay, let's move forward in that way, which means that you don't tussle, which means that you don't have unnecessary conversations. It means that, and like unnecessary conversations in the sense of like if you're the only one fighting to move forward in a healthy way, right? Having that discernment to nurture yourself and others, because like you're not there to play into the corruption and the access of fear and the access of scarcity and the access of these things. um, and you understand that having those uh, ungrounded conversations is what that would lead to. So you don't. This second deck, I feel like I need to activate it with this Soul Heart card. I mean, Soul Heart, not Soul Heart card. Soul Heart Fork. And I feel like there's about to be something to come out about the throat chakra, how to go forward. Because maybe you've been in a hermit mode, maybe you haven't really been. You've been in a hermit empress mode. So, like, you are cultivating nourishment and abundance and joy and love and flow. And this might be something that you're sitting in all by yourself at the moment. Or maybe not all by yourself, but maybe it's like not. There are some characters that you would like to be with you, and you understand that they cannot be with you until they do their work, right? So you're needing to pause because you can't tell them what that work is. Dear Spirit and Holy Angels, how do we move forward past this corruption and access? What's next for us? What's next for this beautiful collective? All right. And when I say us, understand that like we come through on frequencies that are resonant. My brain first said resolute, like resolute, as in like we come through in frequencies that are also um, resolution, revolution, evolution for ourselves as well as healers and readers. So we have the Five of Swords in the reverse, and the Empress in the so the Empress in the reverse is coming in as an answer to the corruption, and we are not to focus on that. We are not to focus on the accesses of others, good or bad. We are not to focus on the corruption of others, because all it's going to do is put us in a space of hardship and scarcity with them. Needing us. So the answer to the King of Pentacles, the corruption and access that is sitting outside the gates of our Empress kingdom, because this corruption and access is seeing you not as an empress, because they can't see past their own hardship, their own scarcity, their own barrenness, their own neediness. They need things, and your aura, what did I say? Your aura is borealis, and your thoughts are galactic sky. Space for every system, even when they collide. So, like, they want to know. They want to know, how does your aura look like that? How is it so like the aurora borealis? Ooh. Let me see. I don't know if you can see it on this ceiling. The aurora borealis. It's wavy, it's multicolored, it changes, it's multifaceted. It's not outside of when it's going to show up based on, galactic consistency. We don't really know what it's going to look like when it does, how it's really going to flow. It's organic. And that ability to flow in multiple colors. Maybe you're a part of the LGBTQ community. And this Five of Swords, this Five of Swords is like there are arguments, argumentative conversations, argumentative views, argumentative hearts, argumentative souls and spirits that really want to get in the ring with you. Don't. Don't do it. Because it's gonna corrupt what you got going on. Point blank period. What do our angels have to say? Guardian angels, please come through. Give us what should we focus on when this happens? Because right now you're like, I'm a soldier in the army. But that's like behind you. That's behind you. You tired. You tired. And that fighting doesn't do anything but drain your energy. It's a corruption of your access that you have. You do have access. You are abundant. You are abundant because you nurture beauty. You nurture nature. You nurture nature. So you might go out and I'm seeing like picking up trash. I'm seeing like maybe you go on hikes and you dance in the woods, or you talk to the trees and the animals, and you nurture nature. You appreciate her. You appreciate her beauty. You appreciate the beauty of the nature of how things play out in your life. But this uh hidden duel still rides in the back and singing in the background. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. Positive change. So all of it can be overcome with positive changes. Dare to be different. See? Be you. Be you. You are what you are, and for you, that's enough. Mindset way above subpar and built life tough. Like, be different. You've always been different. You've always been different, beloved. When you are criticized, remember that you will never please everyone. Many brilliant and gifted individuals were not appreciated or understood in their own lifetime. Yet it is often they who have sown the seeds of change. Keep doing. Keep doing. Keep doing. And look back as I look back over my life and I think things over. I can truly say that I've been blessed. I have a testimony. So you know, you know the seeds that you've sown, because there are people who you, there are achievements that you can look back and they may not have come fully to you. You saw them out there and they were snatched because you were too young, because you were too um, scared, because you were too bound externally. So, like, you were too young in the body. You were too scared in the mind. You were too bound societally to really be your full self, do your full thing. But you are a harbinger of positive change. Like when your ship comes in, everybody eats, everybody gets a drink, everybody everybody wins, everybody gets loved, everybody gets nurtured, everybody gets, something. Um and you have no problem with that. That's who you are. However, people want what they want, not what you want to give them. And many people are unable to find gratitude for positive changes if it doesn't solve the full problem. So be okay with just bringing any sort of positive change. If someone's in a funk and you walk in with your smile, they might hate that shit. But still, you brought a positive light, aurora into their day. They make a choice on whether to embrace it or not. That's not about you. And when you leave, you'll feel good about who you were, what you did in those times, and know that you brought positivity only. What's in the in between for these messages, Spirit? Anything? Anything, anything? Okay. Metaphysical, no, Lantern Oracle. I can truly say that I've been blessed. I have a testimony, yeah. Like the past year or so could have been such a wild ride for you. Like you might have had some of your highest highs as well as some of your lowest lows. But even in the low lows, you were like, well, shit. I overnight they came in and stole half of my wheat. Well, at least I still have the other half in my vegetables. I guess I'm gonna have less carbs going forward. Like you adjust and pivot. The new day starts and you're like, all right, new day, new ways maybe. So in the reverse, I got distorted desire, and I know this is oracle, and many people don't read oracle in the reverse with the reverse, but I take it as the card means the same thing, just something is on its way out, away. Something is on its way away. Conscious desire rarely satisfies the unconscious need driving it. So yeah, you don't chase you don't chase things, distorted desires, right? Like you are able to see somebody dangling a carrot from hundreds of miles away. You're able to see them dangling the carrot from behind their back. You've watched your fields be stolen. You've had some dreams be burned, but you never stop believing that now is your turn. That waking up in the morning is the green light to go, sun, rain, shadow, or snow. Like, whether it's beaming, whether it's raining, whether you're in a shadow, yours or someone else's, the shadow of God and distorted perceptions. I said the shadow of God and distorted perceptions came out. There's so many things about what God is, who God is, how God should feel, who you should be. At the end of the day, trees grow how trees are going to grow. Grass grows how grass is going to grow. Rivers ebb and rivers flow, and we never know which way they'll go. That just came in. I don't even remember it. But at the end of the day, you are a natural being. Despite the food, despite and even with the food, like you understand that like if a forest can continue to thrive with the chemical world, you don't beat yourself up about the things. You just make mindful choices. You ebb and you flow accordingly. And there's these distorted perceptions. Reality is rarely what we're raised to believe it is. Like there's these distorted perceptions. Like if we look up at the borealis, it's flowing. It's like it comes in, it disappears, it changes colors, blah blah blah. But these distorted perceptions are more of like a whirlwind of confusion. And you're releasing that. You're releasing these distorted perceptions. You're bringing in more of the natural world. You're allowing yourself to utilize your free will. You're done being scared of the sun. You're done being scared of the rain. You're done being scared of shadows. You're done being scared of being in the snow. Oh, you're going to get frostbite. You need to be out there for hours in the shadow. Oh, something's coming. Ooh, my ears are ringing. In the shadows or that bump in the night. In the rain, oh, your hair is going to get wet. Oh, your clothes are going to get wet. Oh, you're going to catch hypothermia. In the sun, oh, you're going to get sunburn. Oh, your skin's going to do this. And with the food, oh, you must be 100% pure. Listen, there's so many different ways to live. And yes, it is meant for some to be 100% pure in diet, but it's not for everyone. And even the people who are 100% pure in diet, those are also the people who typically like hyper fast. It's their way. They're meant to do that. Everyone's not meant to do that. But as long as you are utilizing positive change, right? Anything else, Spirit, for this center? What are we releasing in the in between? And I'm hearing like in the in between is like your thoughts and the conversations that's just with yourself, your thoughts and the conversations that's just with God. Anything else? Radical curiosity, seen as if for the first time every time. So this, I don't even know how this card was supposed to come out, but I'm feeling it in this direction. Radical curiosity, seen as if for the first time every time. Yeah, there's just that new day energy, like waking up in the morning as the green light to go, sun, rain, shadow, or snow. You are a soldier no matter what, but you have put your armor down. You used it to fortify your fortress, and you are walking around in. I just heard this silly sheets in Egyptian cotton, na 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 na. Like you are, you're like, does this feel soft? Does it feel luxurious? Does it feel like even in your workout, your food, I'm hearing your soap, like you have taken it down to the bare, like your everyday things, and you show up each new day as seeing it for the first time. So you may not be brand loyal, you may not be um there are some things that you hold a loyalty to, while also understanding that everything can have the ability to cycle close, right? So you just wake up each new day being like, well, what is it for today? Okay. This is going to take us into this other side. I'm feeling like this is past, present, future. But not even like so far in the past. Like this could have been pre Lionsgate energy. This could have been your last year, last 2 years. I'm hearing 2 to 5. Last 2 to 5 years. You recognized, owned, honored that you are the empress. And you've just been making positive changes, releasing distorted ideas, releasing distorted perceptions, showing up with radical curiosity, even when it's about people that you've known for years, like allowing yourself to see them from today, see them from the now, see them in who they are and not who they've been, even if you've only known them for a year. Like a year ago, they might have been doing such and such, but in the here, now, and today, they're doing something different. What is the positive change? You're daring to be different every day, if necessary. Which brings us into the future. Embrace this 9 of Cups. Embrace and accept what truly makes you happy. Your fulfillment is most important right now. Excuse me. Confirmation, birds. This 9 of Cups. Y'all drinking a lot. Lots of water. Lots. You're like taking in lots of flow. Feel, feel fulfillment in your work. Contentment and self satisfaction. Yeah, like you're you're doing the damn thing. Like, and it might not look from the outside, from the societal outside, that like you're doing a whole lot. Like from the societal outside, the things that you're doing are things that you've dreamt about. They're things that your soul calls for. And that might be productive rest. What is productive rest, Chrii? Like you're laying down for a nap, and instead you start stretching and you roll around on your bed, floor, sofa for an hour in some really nice deep stretches. You walk, you go on a trail. Your rest, you're utilizing rest as a revolution and not rest as uh, ret- uh, retreating. Like, because we use the word retreat now. I'm going to a retreat. Retreating is like, retreat. But you're not showing up in it that way. You're like, I'm going to a retreat. Full chest. Because you understand that your rest is a revolution. You understand that a part of your purpose in this life, you chose to come into this body because you are the empress. You are this uh, uh, 9 of cups. You just have so many things to embrace that make you happy that don't include the societal things. I'm not going to list things, but the societal things that are typically put into the cups. Like this Nine of Cups in particular, I've seen some that have uh like things in the cups, but this Nine of Cups in particular has nothing sticking out of the cups. And that might be purposeful, right? Like you might be like, what I have in my cups, I could tell you about it, but it might not be something like one of those, like, you don't look like what you've been through. So you might have been through many, many things in your childhood, teenage, an adult, whatever. But you picked and choose what you kept and put it in your cups, and having your cups be full, like having your cups be full to here as opposed to up and over. Like you don't need other people to see and or understand what fills your cup nowadays. You just embrace and accept what truly makes you happy. Because you're showing up. And she's so cute. Because you're showing up in this space of radical curiosity. What? 4646. I didn't even realize I've been talking this long. All right. And then it says, you also have the Four Wands on this side. Gather friends and family, celebrate together, major accomplishment, celebratory socialization. Like, maybe you're still in hermit mode to an extent. Maybe you're like, I want to be around those that I can celebrate with. Even if it's like they're celebrating putting away all of their laundry, but they're not like, yeah, I put away like all my laundry today. Yay. To be like, are you happy about it? Are you like congratulating yourself? Because it sort of sounds like you're beating yourself up. Like you don't want to be in those types of interactions where the person's waiting for you to celebrate them before they celebrate themselves. You're more so in a space of like, yes, I put away all my laundry today and killing it. Like, and then you're like, yes, friend. Like that type of interaction. And you do that with yourself. Like, you put the laundry away. You celebrated putting the laundry away by yourself. And then you went and talked to a friend and y'all celebrated that together. Like, your small wins are big for you. And you're in a space where you're able to talk about maybe issues, problems, stagnation, doubts. Uh, you're able to talk about this Five of Swords energy that might be showing up, but you're moving towards positive change. Like you're having that conversation, but you're not commiserating. No commiseration. Um, yeah. Anything else on these two cards? Black Cat Tarot. I don't feel like Black Cat Tarot is necessary on this side. No, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like that's necessary. Metaphysical Cannabis deck. I was gonna pull it earlier for the center, and it was like, no, not that one. Lantern. So we went Lantern. But right now, I feel like you're in a place where whether you partake in medicinal elevation or not, maybe you take um, prescribed things or whatever, but whatever you're doing, you're in a space. There's a card in here that flipped over. You're in a space of the great diviner. Like, you're sitting there being like, okay, I'm going to take radical curiosity and I'm just going to feel. You don't just divinate with cards, or like you might, if you're here with me, then you have so many different talents. If you have so many different avenues to where, like, that's why you have a rope. If you remember me saying earlier, it's not just a thread to the divine, to God. You have a whole ass rope. There's so many threads, there's so many strings, there's so much density, there's so much uh, connective cord to your divine self, because you came into this life as the empress, sorry. But you might, empress, you're you do divination through how you show up in masculine and feminine. You do divination. Divination, and I'm here. Divination keeps playing in my head. Divination, you have the ability to diminish the things that do not really mean anything in the scheme of what living actually is, not what we have been told life is. You embrace life. You are a divination, a divinator, the great diviner. You are a great diviner of with how you live, your ability to just embrace and accept joy and happiness and love and flow, knowing that there will always be a friend, there will always be a family, there will always be flow for you. That's how you divine through life. That's how you divine through life, through living. And that's a part of why you were placed in so many distorted desires and distorted perceptions, because you see life from so many different dimensions that it's actually scary to people. And then we have the wizard coming out with balance. But you stand in neutrality. You stand in the balance of it. Like, if you think about a scale, if you think about a seesaw, if you stand in the center, you're not weighing heavily on either side, in the dark, in the light, in the up, in the down. You're just in the middle, in the balance, in the flow, allowing things to come and go, allowing curiosity for what's next. Holding a love that can be distant, I'm hearing. So, like, you can release people out of your physical orbit, like out of your sight, understanding that, like, everything galactically, cosmically, it's everything's on a cycle, everything is going and coming, and you have the you're tapped into the magic to know when to, you know, let things go, bring things in. You know how to make good memories, even if they're not remembered, because you know that it's more about energy. What was that? That was a lot. But I'm going to just take the one that's on top. Codes in nature. We have balance, chaos in the reverse, the beyond, witch and metaverse in the reverse, We also have restoration in the reverse. So you also know when things are not meant to be restored. Like this was balancing chaos. So you might have had something crazy come through. You might have had something crazy come through that balanced some things but left other things in complete chaos. But you have ancestors from the beyond. You have ancestors, you have angels, you have that rope. You have that rope. So any of the little, and I hate to say witches because the word is so condemned. Um, but anyone who utilizes their magical abilities, their magical tapsins, and their magical powers, it's like metaverse. This is giving cauldron vibes. It's up in the reverse. So if you had any of this going on in the background of your life, these ancestors, angels, spirit guides, they came in with the balance that came in for you, and they saw the chaos coming, and they wrapped their wings around you, and they shielded you from this. They showed it to you. They let you know. They pointed out. And there's some things that just should not be restored based on that information, um, that was given to you from spirit. But in the future, the codes in nature miracles. So you're destined for balance. You're destined for miracles. You're a great diviner. You know which way to go. You can, like, this Arun Mila. I remember reading this card in the book, and I think it said that this is a blind diviner, maybe. I can't remember exactly, but that's what I'm feeling, hearing. Um, you don't know. You don't know what's next, and it's okay because you know that none of us knows. None of us knows what's next, and you're okay with that. But you do open your heart, you open your soul to divinate using life as your divination tool, which is always going to be the wizard way of bringing balance to you, to your stars. Because you came into this life, I keep saying it, you came into this life as the empress, but there were battles, there were you came into this life as the empress, but you were in the last life maybe as a soldier. And this life picked up on that and started bringing you battles of distorted desire and distorted perception. But it's not just you. Distorted desire and distorted perception are the order of the day, right? So you understand that you just need to divine through life, using life, which will always bring you balance. You'll always receive codes from nature, and it'll be small miracles that'll come through. And those small miracles could just be the way that a tree has grown. Um, you can tell it's windswept and it's going this way and it's crooked and there's graffiti on it, and you can tell it's been struck by lightning, but it's still there, it's still standing, it's still thriving. A forest in the middle of a city, surviving the pollution, surviving all the things, the birds, the butterflies, and they're messengers about your miracles. They're messengers to, like, hey, you're still on the right path. The miracles are flying around, they're flying in. Mindset above subpar, and life built God tough. If everything was given, then maybe nothing's learned because maybe nothing's earned. Any more messages from our. Let me get a closing message, please. Guardian angels, spirit. What's the final message to close out this reading? What is our final message for you don't think like what you've been through? Thank you. Forgiveness. Holding on to a past hurt is preventing you from moving forward and achieving your heart's desires. Let it go. Forgiveness does not mean that you condone another's actions. It simply means that you are no longer willing to be a perpetual victim to a particular person or event. Blame is a waste of your precious energy. Bless and surrender the past, for in doing so, you will reclaim the joy of life. Like I said, just surrendering sometimes, not that you let someone beat up on you, right? But you surrender to the fact that the arrows that they're throwing at you are coming out of their own backpack. Those arrows are there because they believe that they are in danger. Those arrows are there because they believe they have to fight for living. Forgive them. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Forgive them, forgive them. Forgive them. Don't say, oh, see, your arrow didn't hit me, and then put the arrow in your own backpack. Leave it on the ground. Leave it there. Neo didn't turn around, pick up all the bullets, and throw them back at Mr. Smith. Didn't. He was like, oh, word? That's the type of power I got? Bet. I'm just going to go straight through you, broski. I'm just going to go straight through you, broski. Forgive, live and let die. Boom, boom, boom. Live and let die. Don't pick the arrow up and put it in your own backpack, waiting to throw it back at them. Don't. Because then you're putting yourself in the same place. You're not making positive changes. You're just showing up here. Live from a place of radical curiosity. What happens when you forgive? What happens when you let it go? What happens when you speak your piece and move on? What happens? Fuck around and find out. Ooh, is it going to dock me for that? I don't know. But, FAFO. All right. This has been fun. And I hope that it has helped you. I hope that it's helped to be a confirmation to you. I hope that it's helped to create positive changes in your spirit. I hope that it has tugged on your rope a little bit to let you know that spirit and the ancestors, your spirit team, God itself is on your side because you're on its side. And that's all that matters. So, like and subscribe if you feel called, if this really helped you. Because I don't post super often. So, when I do, it will pop up for you if you like and subscribe. And it'll also help get these messages out to others who are also in this frequency uh, of change and forgiveness and radical curiosity and acceptance. Okay? All right. Peace out.